Top of the morning, I gotta get ready to go to work. But listen, I want to share something with y'all real quick. Hey, decisions is key, right? The thing about the decisions is, the key about the decisions is that you can decide whatever you want to do. Like me, I'm about to decide to go to work. You can decide whatever you want to do in life, but just know that whatever you do in life with those decisions, you don't decide those consequences to those decisions. You don't decide the outcome. You don't decide your consequences to those decisions. You decide to pick up a gun and go run through somebody's hood, you ain't gonna decide your punishment. That's gonna be left up to the higher power or the judge, whoever decides to make that decision to them consequences. Real quick, I just want to tell y'all a quick story. I get a phone call about 20 years ago. I get a phone call, and I'm at a warehouse working, and the little homies hit me up, and they like, hey man, Munchie B got shot in the head. I'm like, what? The little homie got shot?
I was walking from school one day with the homies and shit. So, after we walked down, we be out a little earlier. It's a continuation. We hanging out, and the fast forward, I end up getting shot. You know what I mean? I get grazed in the head. You know what I'm saying? I had some little flaps hanging up. I had to staple the shit back down. I get shot in the arm, coming from school.
Can you take me through what happened?
All right, so rest in peace, Mr. Brownlee, man. He the principal at Hillcrest at the time. You know what I mean? This school is a continuation school, but you from Inglewood, like you'll get kicked out your school and have to go to Hillcrest, but you might not want to go back though. You know what I mean? Hillcrest was cool, so Mr. Brownlee really cared though. So after school, we'll walk, and he'll be following us all the way and make sure we don't stop at Carl's Jr. and be hanging out, just loitering in the parking lot. Keep walking. But this day he didn't do that. So we all in the parking lot, we chilling. So it's a lot of it. So some niggas pull up in the car, they still in the car just chilling. So when they get out, they got all this green on. You know what I mean? They got tattoos on his face and shit. So they walk right past us. We looking at each other like, nigga, like, you know what I mean? Where we from, the hustlers wear green. We don't fuck with that. You know what I mean? So I walk in the Carl's Jr., I look at them niggas, you know what I'm saying? It's females from the school, they inside, so I sit down. Females sit on my lap and shit. I'm looking like, yeah, and I'm grinning like, you niggas in trouble. So the homies come in there, bang on them, they bang some bullshit, like some Landwood hustler shit or something. So bang on them, like, all right, the homies spin off, they go back outside. I push the girl off, I walk back outside. We out there chilling. So the niggas come out, we get the whooping their ass. Boom, boom, boom. Niggas hit them with the Dodger bats and shit. I don't know where a Dodger bat come from. Whooping their ass, take their food and shit, boom, boom. So I remember vividly the homie Takeoff like, man, y'all walk on this side of the street. Don't walk against traffic. I mean, walk with traffic, you know what I'm saying, the cars to y'all back, you know what I mean? But all right. We still walking on this side of the street. Traffic coming our same direction. So we get like a block away. I hear like the car room up, boom. Pop, 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 boom, some shots, boom. Like I fall, like I try to run like the back of the little bus stop, like I trip, boom, boom, they hit me. I'm like, okay. And then, well, I know later, like, you know what I'm saying, because I'm looking, I'm on the ground. I see the homie, one punch him in HP, he hopping away. Like, I guess he out in the car. I'm on the ground, like, my arm throbbing.
Like, yeah, he got shot. I said, did he die? He said, nah. I said, I'm on my way. So I leave work early. And real quick, backstory. I grew up with Munchie B's big brother on 107th and Doty. The one used to be from Dime Block. I used to be from Dime Block. Before I got put on Inglewood family. Anyway, so make a long story short, man. I get a call that he got shot. He was leaving school, got into it with some dudes, and the story was he got hit in the head. Not the one when, not when he got blind, not that one. This one happened way before that. So anyway, I ended up picking up the little homies, and we end up sliding through the hood to go do what we gonna do. Try to meet up where he got shot, and anyway, we driving through the set to go pick some things up to do what we do, and IPD pull us over. They pulled me over, and I had the little homies in the car. I'm the oldest one at the time in the car, you know, and I was misleading these dudes, man. Anyway, you know, so we end up getting pulled over, and they pulled us out the car, and we didn't have nothing in the car at the time because we was on our way to go get some stuff. And they knew what time it was. They probably got the call over the radio, obviously, and they knew there was gonna be probably some retaliations. So when they pulled us over, they searched my car. I didn't have anything. I wasn't on probation or parole, so they gave me, to prevent us from doing what we was gonna go do, they gave me an infraction for the fact that I didn't have any seatbelts in the back seat for anybody, for any passengers. So they decided to give me a ticket and told me if I get caught over here and have any of these little dudes in my car, they was gonna tow my car and take me to jail. So the little homies bailed through the hood, and how that played out the way it played out. The second interaction I had, or the last interaction that I had with Lil Munchie B, not Lil Munchie, you know, to me he's Lil Munchie, but anyway, Munchie B from Inglewood Family we was on the block on our provider in Crenshaw, in the hood, on like by Darby Park, and it was one late night, and I had about like 15, 20 homies back there. We was all hanging out, and I called some girls over from Hoover, and one of the girls I was dating at the time, and before the girls could get over there, he get on the phone and he get the dissing Hoover, and I'm like, dude, why you do that? We get along with Hoover. Like, what's your problem? And I'm bringing these little bras over here, you know, for us, you know, to do our thing, and the homies, you know, to have little bras to holler at. You know, the Hoover girls is cool. And he get to get on the phone disrespecting they hood and this and that, and then ultimately disrespecting me, like for him, because he was disrespecting them. And I'm like, dude, why is you doing that? And he's like, cause they dissed the hood. I was like, they didn't diss the hood, dude, you stupid. I said, you trying to chase the bras away, man? So they pull up. As soon as they pull up, the Hoover girls, they hop out. One of the bras I was messing with may do some Hoover. They get off on Munchie. They take off on him. They start squabbing. I'm like, oh, hell no. This shit done got out of control, man. And they didn't even come over there to hang out no more. They came over there to fight now. And so they end up hopping in the car, leaving. And I get at Munchie. You know, I'm all in his face, cussing. You know, it took a lot for me to not put my hands on him. You know, and it was a lot going through my mind trying to process, man. I grew up with his brother, man. I didn't want to hurt this dude. I was trying to actually be like some kind of like overshadow him and watch over him and guide him, you know, but at the same time, let him do his thing, let him get his bang on the way he get his bang on, but just didn't want to let nothing happen to him, you know, because of the love I had for his brother. His brother was my boy. So, you know, I got at him, and I told him, I said, I'd have whooped you. I'd have beat you down right now. I was in his face and I was cussing. It was much more to that than what I'm telling y'all. And he was like, I'm sorry, my bad, man. I apologize, man. I'm sorry, you know. And I told him, get up out the hood. I didn't kick him out no hood. I didn't tell him he not from the hood. I just told him, get up out the hood right now. Like, nigga, it ain't good. Cause I'm finna put my hands on you. And that was the last interaction I had with Munchie. You know? I don't wish bad on him. I don't got nothing against him, you know? But I do got a message for him. Hey, listen, the decisions you making is gonna come with a consequence, brother. And I'm trying to cut the story short. That's why I'm running through it, you know? Brother, I've been down that road. We was from the same section. You know all about me way too well, young brother. And it ain't gonna lead you nowhere but to destruction. You know, I'm not your daddy. With all due respects to your father, I'm not trying to play your daddy. But I am, I am gonna shed light on the situation, cause I think, you know, I believe that's really my purpose, is just to like keep it real with everybody and let them know what it really is about this lifestyle, that it ain't what people think. You know, the lifestyle we glorify. You beefing with some brothers that got life.
Lanes, Munchie, for Munchie. Figaro fact, fool. Soon as you start popping it to the who's who's, look what happened. Real niggas come out the woodwork and start putting serious stuff out there. On Lane's leaf setback for how long? And then say nothing. Leaf setback for how long on Lane's and then say nothing. Soon as Munchie start getting into it with the who's on Lane's, a week later, the peoples get on there and say, the first thing he say, ask him, is it crunchy?
And them brothers you beefing with, because it's all over the internet, man. And I don't got your phone number. You know, it's been years since I talked to you. Everybody done took their sides. You know what I'm talking about. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna say this: if you don't change your ways, young brother, you will end up on one of them prison yards. And them same dudes you beefing with, they got life. You're gonna have to see them dudes. And all that stuff that you did for the hood that we all ain't gonna talk about, right? All that stuff. I mean, I really ain't never seen you do anything, really, honestly. Because I've been in jail most of the time when you was on the street. So whatever that you known for, or whatever you know, people say you did, or the credit they gave you for what everybody else done did, it don't mean nothing no more. Once you hit one of them yards, they turn on you. I got one more story, real quick. Last one. So I'm in the county jail, and I'm coming from Compton Court, and I'm walking down the court module, the court tanks, down the hallway. And on the right side, we got tank 7, which is the neighborhoods, and everybody that get along in neighborhoods. And on tank 14, we got the Hoovers, the gangsters, and the Bloods, and whoever's allies with them. And you're not supposed to go in either one of them tanks if you the opposite of whatever those tanks are. You know, whatever they are, you're not supposed to be in there. So anyway, as I'm walking down the aisle, some dude's like, "What's up, 9 Deuce? What's up?" Like, I got 9 Deuce on my back arms, right? "What's up, 9 Deuce? What's up, 9 Deuce?" And I look, I'm like, and I already know it's not somebody that's an ally to me at the time when I was in that lifestyle. And dude, I looked at dude, and I end up missing tank 14 and passed it up. The sheriff happened to hit the hallway. He's like, "Man, take it down the hallway. What are you doing slow dragging?" So I ended up missing my tank. At the time, I was housed at Wayside. And so anyway, I ended up going in the tank. And when I went in the tank, I went in like tank 28 down the hallway. It was a guy in the opposite side of me in a different tank. And I thought he had missed his bus. So anyway, you know, I looked to him. I'm like, "Dang, you missed your bus?" He looked at me. He's like, "Man, where you from?" I was like, "Man, I told him." He was like, he dissed my hood. And he told me from rolling 60s. I'm like, "All right, for sure, homie." I didn't diss or nothing. There was no point to dissing. I'm not finna woof. I'm like, "All right, man. All right, go on about your business, homie." When we see each other, we see each other, because we in 2 separate tanks. There's no point of be woofing. This dude was like 6'5", like 300 pounds. Big dude. But he wasn't swole. He was just a big dude. I'm like, whatever. So he asking the trustees for burritos. I started asking the trustees for burritos. I'm hungry too. Shoot. So anyway, the sheriff ended up making their way down the tier. And when they get down the tier, I asked, I said, "Hey man, look, I missed my bus. I need to get to Wayside. It's getting late. And I want to get to my bed. I'm tired." And so anyway, I get down there, He get down there, so I say, I apologize. And when he get down there, he tell us that he say what he say, and then I tell him what I say, and then he say, well, he opened up my tank. He said, well, go to tank 7. And so I leave out the tank. I'm not thinking nothing of it. It was 100 Crips in there at the time. In my mind, I'm like, oh, they might be gone, whatever. So I go down there, and when I get down there to tank 7, as I go into the tank, they got a non-reversible gate. So when you go in, it locks you in. So as I'm going in the tank, I get locked in, bam, and I see everybody that was in that tank was still there. I was like, oh man, this is for bullshit. And so immediately I'm processing the situation. I'm like, damn. So I V-line toward the corner of the cell, to the corner of the tank, and I stand up. And this big old light-skinned dude with braids, he had braids coming down like that. Big old dude, right? He like, where you from, cuz? And they all cousin me in there. Oh, cuz, we got us one, cuz they could see the eye busters on my forearms. And they like, I'm from Inglewood family. And the dude with the big old light-skinned dude with the braids, his name was Foley. And he's like, where you from? And I was like, yeah, I'm from Inglewood family. And he was like, I was like, before they could even say anything, I was like, man, y'all got to give me a head up. And when I said that, I started talking this, this prison talk, right? Because, I wasn't, at the time, man, like I said, I ain't with none of that stuff. Well, I don't care about it, man, like that. But I'm just telling y'all this story, man. Just to let y'all know this shit ain't what it is or what y'all think it is, man. So I ended up telling them, like, man, I was up under some structure, man, when I went to prison. So I fell under a different kind of politics, and I kind of was speaking on it when I was in there. Like, man, y'all got to give me a head. I basically said, y'all got to give me a head up. I'm up under this, and they knew, like, you hit the yard, it could cause a gang riot between the Bloods and Crips, depending on what kind of structure you under. And for those that know. So, anyway, that's another story, man. That's another story, man. That's another story. So anyway, they Foleaf was like, he put his hand out like this, and like I'm under, look, I don't have the numbers. I'm by myself. They got me beaten there. So I shake his hand like, all right, whatever, and I got respect for dude, cause dude, they could have packed me out. Dude told on neighborhood Crip, you gonna get a head up. You know what I'm saying? And that was love right there. And I'm in these dudes' court tank. I'm in the neighborhood court tank. They deep in the mug in here, and they not giving no breaks. They packing you out. They not playing. And they gave me a head up. So dude from 6-0, he ended up coming up in there at the time, right after I shook Foleaf's hand. And I was like, cool, because I thought I was going to fight one of them in there. And eventually they was going to run me. At the end of the day, they gave me head up, but they was going to run me. They was going to give me head up back to back to back to back to back. Thank God when old boy from 6-0 came up in there, we start squabbing. He come straight up in there. We're dude from, he dissed. We're dude from Whoop Whoop at. And he come in there and he see me. We lock up, boom. I could have got the best of him. He didn't get the best of me. But if I would have overdid it, they would have stumped my lights out in there. And I know that. I know how the game go. I would have made somebody mad. Somebody would have just fired on me, and they would have all followed suit, even though they gave me that head up. While we getting the head up, we squabbing. The police happen to be walking by or hear it, and they catch us. Man, thank God they caught us, because I was finna die in there. And they ended up separating us. But anyway, man, that was tough. And I'm going to try to tie it in, right? The whole point of telling y'all this story is that, you can make any decision you want to do anything. but you can't decide the consequences to those decisions. And to like the little brother Munchie, even though we don't talk, I don't have no intentions on trying to link with you or talk to you. I don't even know if this message is gonna get to you, right? You know who I am. You know a lot. You know a lot about me. My message to you, brother, is change your ways, change your life, make peace with God, and do what you need to do as a man, bro. Because if you continue to go down this path, it's not gonna be good for you, brother. It's not gonna be good for you. So, and it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. I don't know anything. I don't know anybody. That's personally. I'm not in talks with people or nothing. All I'm saying is from my experience, from what I know and what I've been through, and what I survived, that it's not looking good for you or anybody in that lifestyle that is following down that path. So change your ways, brother, and do the right thing. To everybody else, y'all have a blessed day, and like and share and subscribe,